So what are the different fetal membranes which surround the developing embryo or the developing fetus? Now here you can see the actual human embryo that is developing. If you recall the structure of the blastocyst during its development and its gastrulation, the embryonic disc, which was initially bilamellar and later becomes trilamellar as the three germ layers become established, this forms the major portion of the embryo, which I have highlighted in the red color. So this is the actual human embryo that is developing. It is surrounded by numerous protective coverings which are referred to as the fetal membranes, or it is also called the extraembryonic membranes. The first extraembryonic membrane, which I am putting a circle around here, is called the amnion. It encloses a cavity that is referred to as the amniotic cavity. You all can see there are two linings to the amnion. There's one in solid black and there's one in dotted line that is shown over here. So basically the black layer represents the ectoderm, which is called the amniogenic layer, and the dotted line layer represents the mesoderm. It is the somatopleuric extraembryonic mesoderm. Then the outermost covering of the developing embryo is referred to as the chorion. Now the chorion, as you can see, is covered externally by the ectoderm. It is called the trophoblast or the Trough Ectoderm. So this Trough Ectoderm is the outermost layer of the chorion, and inner dotted layer of the chorion represents the somatopleuric. Again, just like the amniogenic layer was surrounded by the somatopleuric extraembryonic mesoderm, here also the mesoderm which covers inside of the chorion is the somatopleuric extraembryonic mesoderm. Okay, and another very important outgrowth from the intestine of the developing fetus, which is the yolk sac. I'm showing the yolk sac here in red. Now this red lining represents the endodermal layer. It is called the yolk sac endoderm, and outside you can see again there is a dotted lining here. This dotted lining is nothing but the mesoderm. What mesoderm is it? It is splanchnopluric extraembryonic mesoderm. So yolk sac is having a wall which has endoderm or yolk sac endoderm on the inside and splanchnopluric extraembryonic mesoderm on the outside. And what do you call this space between the amnion and the chorion? Now this is the space that is formed by the splitting of the extraembryonic mesoderm. See, it is split into two layers. This layer here is somatopleuric extraembryonic mesoderm. Now the one around the amnion is also called somatopleuric extraembryonic mesoderm, and the space in between the two is referred to as the extraembryonic coelom. Where is the mesoderm called splanchnopluric extraembryonic mesoderm? Only around the yolk sac. The mesoderm is referred to as splanchnopluric extraembryonic mesoderm. Okay, and then you can also see another small outgrowth that arises from the gut of the embryo, and it projects into this region where the mesoderm has not split. Now I am shading this entire mesodermal region which has not split into extraembryonic coelom, whereas here you saw it splits into two layers and there is a coelom in between. But here there is no coelom, that's why I am shading it. In this region called the connecting stalk, you can see that this allantois, this sac-like structure projects. It is lined externally by unsplit mesoderm, and internally it is lined with the endoderm, which is the gut lining. And this allantois actually is it may be used in case of certain lower organisms like reptiles and birds. It can be used to store excretory substances which is produced in the fetal or the developing embryo's body. In humans, what happens is the allantois invests this unsplit mesoderm, which becomes the umbilical cord later, and the allantois invests the umbilical cord with lot of blood vessels. So basically the allantois becomes the blood vessels of the umbilical cord. Okay, and then you can see on the surface of the chorion you have numerous finger-like projections arising from the outermost covering of the chorion, which is this solid covering of the chorion. I told you this solid covering is the ectoderm, but actually it is referred to as the Trough Ectoderm. So here you can see the Trough Ectoderm, which forms finger-like projections which are referred to as chorionic villi.